Welcome to Online Module 1, Introduction to and Scope of the IFRS for SMEs, Concepts and Pervasive Principles. On the right, you'll notice thumbnails of the different topics covered in this course. You can click on any of these thumbnails at any time. You may also click on Next or Previous to navigate throughout the course. Now, please click Next and enjoy the course.
On the next slide, if we start off with small and medium-sized entities, the first section of this online module 1, we're firstly going to be looking at the basis of the certificate, and that is of course the International Financial Reporting Standard for Small and Medium-Sized Entities, which we commonly refer to as the IFRS for SMEs, that was published by the International Accounting Standards Board, commonly referred to as the IASB, in July 2009. So we can see that this standard is roughly 5 years old, and there have been certain amendments and updates and improvements that have been brought about in the past 5 years. For example, Section 2 has been updated recently to reflect the changes that were made in the conceptual framework from a full IFRS's point of view. We're going to be looking at that a bit later in the second part of Online Module 1. Certain amendments are again currently proposed to the existing IFRS for SMEs, and these amendments are to be approved and then published roughly somewhere in the first quarter of 2015. The amendments are, however, only expected to be effective 1 January 2017, and that is why they have not been included in this particular course. What we do plan to do is to provide an extra module eventually once the amendments have been approved, because we cannot speculate at this stage what the amendments are. We can provide a summary as to what the amendments are that are currently being considered, but once they've been finalized, we'll do an update module just to update your knowledge at a marginal cost. You will see that during this lecture, the basic principle that is taken into account is the IFRS for SMEs is to be applied to the general purpose financial statements of entities that do not have public accountability. Now, in that little sentence, there's a lot of information that has to be understood from a background point of view. Because firstly, we need to go and investigate what general purpose financial statements are. Because the contrast to this would be specific purpose financial statements, and there the IFRS for SMEs is not to be applied. Well, not necessarily, because most specific purpose financial statements are not general purpose financial statements. So that is not always the case. And then secondly, in that block you can see entities that do not have public accountability. What does it mean not to have public accountability? So in this module, we're going to be investigating the characteristics of small and medium-sized entities as defined by the IASB.